Done 1 hour, 2 minutes.
Okay.
You have 58 minutes.
58 minutes.
For the entire cross-examination of this witness and those to come.
Most obliged, Honorable Senator. Speaker. Honorable Mutuse, Honorable Speaker of the Senate. Honorable Mutuse. Yes, you say you're an advocate of the High Court of Kenya.
Yes.
When were you admitted?
In the year 2018.
2018.
Yes.
So you've been practicing for 6 years.
Indeed.
According to the Senate website I'm reading here, between 2013 and 2022, you are the Chief of Staff at the County Government of Machakos. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So from 2018 to 2022, you could not practice law as a public officer. Is that correct?
That is true.
So you have not done any conveyancing transactions. Is that correct?
That is not correct.
How have you done conveyancing transactions as a public officer?
I have academic, professional, and experience in conveyancing.
Academic, not practical.
Professional and practical experience in conveyancing.
How did you do conveyancing while working for Machakos County Government?
I was not in private practice, but I am involved in many.
Yeah, name one transaction, for example.
Well, maybe I can't remember now.
Maybe what?
I cannot remember at the moment.
You can't remember a single transaction in your illustrious law career you've done. Let's move on. Honorable Mutuse.
Yes.
On what party were you elected when you came to Parliament?
Maendeleo Chapter Party.
Maendeleo Chapter Party.
Yes.
And you were elected in the year 2022.
Indeed.
Is it correct to state that Maendeleo Chapter Party is a member of the Kenya Kwanza Coalition?
Yes, it is correct.
Did you sign a coalition agreement to form part of that Kenya Kwanza Coalition?
Yes, we did.
You did. Do you have any role, any specific role in Maendeleo Chapter Party?
No, I don't have.
You do not have any role?
Yes.
I want us to deal with grounds. I believe your counsel led you on what he said jointly were grounds 1, 5, and 6. Ground 1 and 5 and 6 deal with the utterances you stated. And let me get some facts straight from you. You said one of the things that vexes you the most about these utterances, you mentioned sensationally Rwanda, you mentioned Sudan, you mentioned various countries having problems. Is that correct?
Yes, indeed.
And you said that my client, the deputy president, was a DO in Molo during the clashes.
I said, it is said that he was a DO in Molo during the
It is said?
Yes.
So this is not a fact? Yes or no? It is not correct that he was not a DO in Molo.
I do not know it out of my own information, but it is public information.
What do you mean by public information? Either he was a DO or he was not. Can you confirm yes or no? Was he or wasn't he? Or don't you know?
He was a DO?
He was, no, Molo, please, let's not waste time. Was he a DO in Molo or was he not, to your knowledge?
It is publicly alleged that he was a DO in
To your knowledge, not to the public, to you, Mutuse MP Kibwezi, was he a DO in Molo or not, to your knowledge?
I believe so.
I'm not asking for your belief or imagination. Do you know or do you not know?
Oh, I do not have it as a matter of fact.
Okay, let's move. Now, you confirm that you are a member of the Kenya Kwanza Coalition.
Yes, indeed.
Please go with me, if you will.
Yes.
To page 417, honorable members, 417 of volume 3 of the Deputy President's documents. That one. And as you put a finger there, Honorable Mutuse, honorable members of the Senate, Mr. Mutuse, if you'd go with me to page 6 of volume 1, This is the special motion.
Volume 6.
I said page 417, keep a finger there, page 417 of volume 3. These are annexures in support of His Excellency the Deputy President.
Yes.
And then volume 1, which is your motion, at page 6 of 85. But let's begin with page 6 of 85. You're there, page 6?
Yes, I'm there.
You're there. This is the allegation you see in the middle there, and I'll read for you quickly so that we don't get stuck, which begins with the words, a government is like a company. Can you see that?
A government is like a company.
You can see that?
Yes.
I want you to show me where in that paragraph the word tribe, ethnic, kabila appears, even once.
It is not there.
Go to page 7, overleaf. Can you see the sentence beginning, haiwezekani mtu ambaye alikuwa akikupiga kelele akichunga? Can you see that?
Yes.
Show me where the word kabila, tribe, or ethnicity appears.
It is not there.
Paragraph 13. A government is like a company. Can you see that at page 7?
Yes.
Show me where the word tribe, ethnic, or kabila appears.
It is not there.
Let's go to page 8. Sisi lazima tungeangalia nyinyi. Hii serikali ni kampuni na hii ni shares. Si ndio? Can you see that?
Yes, I can see that.
Show me where the word tribe, kabila, ethnic appears.
It doesn't appear.
Paragraph 15, does it appear?
What?
At paragraph 15, at page 8 of 85.
What does not appear?
The same words, kabila, ethnic, tribe.
No, they don't appear.
They do not appear. And finally, at paragraph 16, at page 9 of 85. You can see that?
Let me read through. I can see nikuwe nikichunga mambo ya watu wa mlima.
Very good. So Mlima is a tribe.
It's a region.
Is a region. Can you please name for me the counties in that region?
Several.
Central is not a county.
I've said several.
Several, there are 10 actually. Read them out.
Kiambu, Murang'a, Nyeri, Embu, Rakanithi, Meru,
Nakuru,
Nakuru,
Laikipia.
Laikipia. Which other one?
The 10, all of them.
Okay.
Now, do all those 10 counties have one tribe? To your knowledge.
They do not have one tribe.
Thank you. Now, would you agree with me that the government or the party or the coalition that is the majority in the Senate and in the National Assembly is the Kenya Kwanza coalition?
Yes.
So the ruling party is Kenya Kwanza.
The ruling coalition.
Is the ruling coalition.
Yes.
And they rule because they are a majority.
Yes.
You agree with that?
Indeed.
Very good. Now, to your knowledge, if you now go with me to page 417, is a letter, can you see that? Page 417 of volume 3 of the Deputy President's documents. Can you see that?
Yes.
It is addressed to the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties.
Yes.
And it is signed by our professional colleague, Professor Kithure Kindike. Can you see that? Council for Kenya Kwanza Alliance Coalition.
Yes.
You can see that?
Yes.
In the middle is a paragraph beginning with subsequently. Can you please read out for me the parties that were constituent parties of Kenya Kwanza?
Subsequently, on 12th April 2022, the following political parties were admitted: Machakazi, Communist Party, Devolution Party of Kenya, Economic Freedom Party, Farmers Party, the Service Party, Tujibebe wa Kenya Party, Umoja na Maendeleo Party of Kenya, Democratic Party of Kenya.
Thank you. If you go with me to the first of those coalition agreements, it is to be found at page 418. Can you see that?
Yes, I am there.
At the very top there, under the date, who are the constituent, who are the parties that have signed this agreement?
United Democratic Alliance Party and Amani National Congress Party and Ford Kenya Party.
Thank you. If you'd go with me to page 420, a few pages from there.
Page 420, I'm there.
Paragraph C, Article 5, Paragraph C. Please read that out fairly quickly.
The validity or legality of this agreement may not be subject to challenge by any founding or future coalition member party or their respective individual party members before any organ of the coalition.
And Paragraph D?
Any constitution, rules, regulations, or guidelines, whatever the nomenclature of founding or future member parties, which is not inconsistent with this agreement, is null and void to the extent of the inconsistency.
So this is the master agreement of the Kenya Kwanza coalition. Is that correct, yes or no?
It is correct.
Thank you. Do you know why these agreements are signed and under what law they are signed?
Yes, I know.
Please tell us.
They are signed under the Political Parties Act for various reasons. Number one is...
No, I asked you the law. Now, do you know what specific section requires a coalition agreement and what is to enter into a coalition agreement?
Well, not offered, but I know.
Schedule 3. Does that ring a bell for you?
The Schedule 3 is what states what the elements of a coalition agreement.
As a member of the Kenya Kwanza coalition, according to you,
Yes.
are these agreements of your coalition drawn in accordance with the law?
Yes, they are.
So they are lawful.
Yes, indeed.
They are enforceable.
Yes, indeed.
They are the basis upon which Kenya is governed,
Basis upon which Kenya Kwanza coalition is run.
is governing the country.
The country is governed by the Constitution of Kenya.
Correct. But the Kenya Kwanza government that is governing, these are its constituent documents. This is the foundation of Kenya Kwanza.
But they are not superior to the Constitution.
I did not ask for an argument. I asked, is this the foundational constitution? You've just read about it saying that it is...
It is the coalition agreement for Kenya Kwanza, yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Would you know whether Maendeleo Chap signed any agreement to enter the Kenya Kwanza coalition?
Yes.
You did?
They did sign.
Are you familiar with the contents of that agreement?
Yes, I am.
You are?
Yes.
Are you certain about that?
Yes, I know.
Very good. Then let's first go to the documents we're reading here. Let's begin at page 426.
Page 426?
Yes.
I am here.
Article 19. Can you please read the heading?
Article 19, sharing of county assembly responsibilities, leadership.
Sharing.
Sharing.
Very good. Article 20, please read the heading again.
Sharing of leadership of parliamentary committees.
Sharing.
Yes.
Let's go to Article 21.
Sharing of national government responsibilities.
Let us start with A. UDA shall nominate the coalition's presidential and deputy presidential candidates in the general elections of 9th August 2022. Did UDA provide the president and deputy president for Kenya Kwanza coalition?
Yes.
They did.
Yes.
So that part of the agreement was implemented.
Yes.
Very good. And then you can see at Article 21, the functions of the deputy president is to chair committees, oversee implementation of cabinet decisions, and so on. Would you know whether this particular section was implemented or not?
In terms of the functions of the deputy president?
Yes. Would you know?
Yes. To the best of my recollection, it was put into effect through an executive order.
So that was also implemented?
Yes.
Go with me to page 428.
Page 428?
Yes.
We are here.
F. Can you see F at the top there?
Yes, I can see F.
A and C shall nominate the prime cabinet secretary for appointment by the President of the Republic. Did the leader of ANC, was the leader of ANC nominated and appointed as the prime cabinet secretary?
Indeed.
That is correct.
Prime cabinet secretary and cabinet secretary for foreign affairs.
You can confirm the name. What's the name?
His name is Musalia Mudavadi.
Mudavadi.
Yes.
Very good. And the functions you see at J and I, was that also implemented?
Yes, they were implemented.
Very good. Let's go to page 429.
Page 429, yes.
Paragraph L at the top.
Paragraph L at the top.
Ford Kenya shall nominate the Speaker of the National Assembly for election in accordance with the Constitution. Did Ford Kenya nominate, and was the nominee, in fact, elected as the Speaker of the National Assembly?
Indeed.
Indeed. That was also implemented.
Yes.
Very good. Now, let us go to N. Please read out for us N.
ANC and Ford Kenya shall have 30% share of the positions in the national government, including cabinet secretaries, principal secretaries, ambassadors, high commissioners, heads of diplomatic missions, chairpersons of state corporations, directors of state corporations, and chairpersons and commissioners of constitutional commissions, provided that their for sale 30% share positions in the national government shall be shared equally between ANC and Ford Kenya.
Who would be the appointing authority for those positions?
Well, different office orders.
Remember, you're a lawyer.
Some by the president,
Yes.
others by cabinet secretaries appointed by the president, and
In
others,
fact,
and
all
others-
these-
and
in
others-
fact-
and others through Public Service Commission by way of competitive.
Now, but ANC and Ford Kenya were promised 30% share positions in all these positions.
Indeed.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, they have a 30% share.
Yes.
So when you hold shares, what are you called?
Okay. In a company, they are called shareholders. I do not know what they are called in a political party.
I'm talking about English. When you hold shares, what are you called?
Shareholder.
Thank you very much. So ANC and Ford Kenya are 30% shareholders in Kenya Kwanza, correct or not?
They are 30%.
You have just told us when you hold shares, you're a shareholder. Please, Mr. Mutuse, do not fear. Speak the English.
Okay, they are 30% shareholders.
They are 30% shareholders.
Yes,
Thank you. Let's go to Article 22.
but not in a company.
Mr. Mutuse, please answer the questions when he asked. Let's go to Article 22.
My apologies.
Let's go to Article 22. Please read paragraph, the one that begins with pursuant.
Pursuant to the principles of equity, national development, and fair allocation of national resources, the Kenya Kwanza Alliance administration shall endeavor to fulfill the following developmental obligations in the ANC and Ford Kenya strongholds of Western Kenya within the electoral period starting 2022 and ending in 2077 on a priority basis.
Stop there. Please tell me, what are the ANC and Ford Kenya strongholds in Western Kenya? As a member of the coalition, please tell us.
Come again?
What are the Ford Kenya and ANC strongholds in Western Kenya?
Western Kenya.
Yeah. Read for us the counties.
Or you want counties?
Of course.
That would be the county of Bungoma, the county of Kakamega, the county of Vihiga, the county of, which other one?
I am the questioner, you are the motion mover. Please answer. Now,
Primarily those ones.
these are priority projects for one region, correct?
Yes,
And this is a shareholders agreement, correct?
this is a coalition agreement.
Coalition agreement. It says shares. You've just told us that here yourself.
Because it has a heading.
Now, let's read the projects. Go to A.
Completion of all existing incomplete or stored bitumen road projects within the aforesaid counties is at 9th August 2020.
Let's stop. These are projects for one region, correct or not?
Yes,
Would you say, as you have alleged here, that by Kenya Kwanza focusing on one region, certain projects, what you are accusing the deputy president of saying must be implemented, how does that cause disunity or ethnic strife? As a member of Kenya Kwanza, you're a member, you're the ones who say this. Tell us what you had in mind.
this is in promotion of regional inclusivity of all regions in the national development.
But we're talking about Western here. Can you please show me in this document where other regions are mentioned? Please go through it quietly. Take a minute. It ends at page 433. It starts at page 418. Show me one other region mentioned there by name in the whole document.
This is a coalition agreement
Now,
specific.
please, Mr. Mutuse, answer my question. Is there any other region mentioned by name in this document?
There is no other region.
Thank you very
This
much.
is specific
Thank you
to
very much,
ANC
Mr. Mutuse.
and for
Mr.
Kenya
Mutuse,
in
please.
respect
Mr. Mutuse,
of a
please
particular region.
focus to my question. Is there any other region?
Not in this document.
Thank you very much. That was my simple question. Let's go to page 434. Who are the signatories to this agreement?
Several.
Name them.
William Ruto,
Yes.
Musalia Mudavadi,
Yes.
Moses Wetangula, Veronica Maina, Simon Gikuru, and Chrysanthus Wamalwa.
And it is witnessed by who?
Professor Kindiki.
Do any of these persons bear the blame as you pile on the deputy president for causing ethnic strife by focusing on one region in a document?
None of them has made pronouncements to
They're in the document.
similar to.
They're in the document. This is an agreement, and it has been implemented.
And none of them has a motion on the impeachment.
So let me understand this, and be careful with the answer here.
Yes.
Your problem with the deputy president is that he spoke out aloud what was written in the agreement that formed the government. Yes or no?
There is no way I've.
No, yes or no, Mr. Mutuse?
The deputy president has not said the people of Western have not been given what.
No. He spoke about shares. We've read. He said everybody deserves their share. So it is in the agreement you've confirmed.
But we have also to be faithful to the agreement.
We have to be faithful to an agreement that gives shares.
A coalition agreement.
But we mustn't talk about it.
The deputy president is not accused of saying the people of Western Kenya have not gotten their share.
Let us go back to your document, Mr. Mutuse.
Please.
Go back to page 7.
Page 7 of volume.
Page 7 of volume 1.
Yes, there we are.
A government is like a company. I did not say it is a company. I said it is like a company. In every company, there are shares, preferential shares and ordinary shares. When there's an AGM, non-shareholders do not vote or attend. When there are dividends to be divided, they're divided according to the number of shares. This is the truth. A government. And this is the government being formed here. So, Mr. Mutuse, are you saying that the problem is that the deputy president spoke out aloud what was written in an agreement deposited with the registrar of political parties and which formed the government?
I am not saying that because there is nowhere in the coalition agreement we spoke about a company.
All right, let's move on. Let's go to the agreement at page 435.
Yes.
Can you see that?
Yes, I can see it.
What is this agreement?
2022-2027 development cycle. You want me to read all?
Or let me make it short for you. Between Article 7A
Yes.
and 7I,
Yes.
I want you to tell me whether any other region other than Coast is mentioned in those priority projects. This is page 438 of volume
Want me to take a
Volume
minute to
3.
read? Want me to take a minute to read?
No, just please flip through in a second. It shouldn't be long. Other than the D, the rest of it is all Coast.
Well, reverse operational changes that have been carried out in the recent past, whose effect has been to relocate some of the core activities, well, basically
Coast.
but also with a national, with a national nature.
You can read them for yourself, their cost. Now let's go with me to Article 8 at page 439.
Page 439, Article 8.
8A. It says that PAR shall nominate a candidate for the Speaker of the Senate. Can you see that?
Yes, I can see that.
Page 439, paragraph 8A. You can see that?
Yes, I can see that.
Did the candidate nominated by PAR in fact become the Honorable Speaker of the Senate?
Indeed.
He did. Let's go to Article 9. Please read Article 9A.
Sharing of responsibilities in the national government. Upon the coalition winning the presidency of the Republic of Kenya in the general election scheduled for 9th, PAR shall submit one qualified nominee for appointment as principal secretary in accordance with the applicable law and procedure for appointment.
So PAR was allocated one principal secretary position as its share of national government. Is that correct?
According to this agreement, yes.
Thank you. Let's go to a very interesting one. Go to paragraph 9C.
Yes.
Please read 9C.
PAR shall be entitled to nominate other qualified persons for appointment for positions in the national government, including principal secretaries, ambassadors to high commissioners, chairpersons of state corporations, chairpersons of constitutional commissions, and other appointive officers.
Let us go to page 440 again and 441. You can see that?
Yes, I can.
Again, you can see it signed by the party officials. Can you see that?
Yes, I can see.
His Excellency the President, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Senator of the National Assembly, my village mates and Senator Veronica Maina, Simon Gekuru, Chrysanthus Wamalwa, Ibrahim Mutwafi, and Benedict Furaha. You can see that?
Yes, I can.
And you confirm this is an agreement of the Kenya Kwanza coalition?
Yes, between Kenya Kwanza and PAR.
Very good. Honorable Speaker, I'd now like to play a video. This is video number 7 in the Deputy President's documents.
Hapa Murang'a mumenipatia waziri ambaye anasimamia fedha yote ya Kenya. Anaitwa Profesa Njuguna Ndung'u. Hapa Murang'a mumenipatia chairman ambaye anakusanya ushuru yote Kenya. Anaitwa Bwana Maura, anatoka hapa Kandara. Na nyinyi watu wa Murang'a, waziri wa maji ndio huyu yuko hapa. Kwa hivyo kama kuna watu shareholders wakubwa wa hii serikali ni watu wa Murang'a. Na hiyo kazi nyingine yote tutahakikisha kwamba inatimia.
Stop there.
Watu wa Murang'a tumekubaliana.
Honorable Mutuse.
Answer.
Who was speaking in that video?
The President of the Republic of Kenya, William Ruto.
Things is one of the primary duties of the Deputy President.
To deputize for the President.
To assist the President.
Yes.
When the Deputy President assists the President in talking about shareholders, how does that become an impeachable offense that does not attach to his principal, the President?
That is not one of the functions assigned to the President by the Constitution.
It is one of the functions in your founding documents. So he's assisting him in that function. It's politics. What is the problem with that? He's the deputy party leader. For order.
Well, I wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know.
Yes.
Let me ask you, before you filed this motion of yours, which my colleague Elisha Ongoya calls false, he used some other words.
I can remember them.
You can remember them?
Yes.
Do you want to, now that you know what you have done, what are they?
No, I can remember Ongoya's words.
What are they? Now that, describe yourself. What has he used? What was it used?
Go ahead. You can ask him for assistance.
Now, when you say that the Deputy President used words in support of something the President himself said, how does that become insubordination?
I have not said that the Deputy President used words in support of what the President said.
So when the President says to the people of Murang'a and not to the people of, say, Makueni, that nyinyi ni shareholders wakubwa wa serikali, is the President's words likely to incite ethnic hatred, violence, Rwanda, are the president's words likely to turn us to Rwanda, as you suggested?
The president is not on trial.
Sorry?
The president is not on trial.
Oh, I see. So his assistant, who assisted him do the thing.
Counsel for the Deputy President, you have 30 minutes.
I'm most obliged, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Mutuse,
Yes.
by assisting the president in something the president said, signed, and effected, most of these appointments, would you confirm with me that most of these appointments, for example, principal secretary, were made by the president?
Yes, indeed.
Cabinet secretaries were appointed by the president?
Yes, indeed.
In fact, under the Constitution, does the deputy president have any power to appoint anybody? No. If it's by insinuation, tell me where, which law, what law are you talking about?
The president can sign an instrument for him to deputize by way of signing an instrument of appointment.
Sorry? 6.
Article 26, yes.
Yes. It deals with dispute resolution.
Yes,
Does Kenya Kwanza have a dispute resolution mechanism?
I believe so.
Did you attempt to invoke that mechanism?
This is not a dispute. This is not a coalition dispute.
Okay.
It's
Did-
not a coalition dispute.
I asked this question because I asked you, did you ask the deputy president why he said any of these things? Whether he was acting on presidential instructions or why was he doing it? Did you ask?
I did not.
You did not ask him.
I did not.
Did you ask him about these companies you are saying, what he does with them?
I did not.
You did not. Did you ask him about these companies, these parcels of land? Did you invoke your Article 35 rights to find out the truth?
I did not.
So you just jumped. Can you?
No, it doesn't.
He does not. If you'd go with me, you can see this is about frameworks for how that area will be developed. But I want you to go with me first and foremost to page 500 and page 501.
500 and 501.
Yes.
Yes.
You can see that?
Yes.
Now, you can see there are 28 programs that were being undertaken under that program. Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
You can see that.
Yes. 502 and 503.
Yes.
A list of participants.
A list of participants. You can see that.
Yes.
The top 10 participants are from which office?
Office of the Deputy President.
And there are many other leaders of Kenya there. Can you see that? Page 502 and 503.
And people from different communities, I can see.
You can see that.
Yes.
I want you now to go with me to page 505.
Yes.
Can you see Annex 2 at the top there?
Active NEDI projects data.
You can see that.
Yes.
It lists a name and then it has World Bank funding financing US $1 million. Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Can you see NEDI share in US dollars?
Yes.
If you could get your assistant as I lead you in another area to do the totals and confirm that the total for the World Bank funding is $3.8 billion, the total World Bank funding for the country, okay? Your assistant there can help you with a computer, which is 514 billion Kenya shillings, okay? The NEDI share being supervised by the Deputy President in that column, he can confirm as we go on over something else, is $1.99 billion. The percentage of dollars allocated to the NEDI area is 52% of the national figure, okay? Would you say that is marginalization by the Deputy President's office?
This is not a program by the Deputy President. It is
I'm
a
saying-
program. It is a program by the government of Kenya.
Fantastic. You raise a very important point. You know, government has no money. Government has taxpayers' money.
Indeed.
The question is how it uses it.
Yes.
It borrows money and taxes.
Yes.
This program is run by the Deputy President's office.
Yes.
So all I am asking is a program likely to cause ethnic hatred. Is that discrimination? That's my question to you.
No, it is not.
Thank you very much. Go with me now to another area. Go with me to page 410.
Page 410.
Yes, 410. Honorable Mutuse,
Yes, Council.
you have said that the Deputy President acted beneath his office, and violated his oath of office by criticizing the Director General of the National Intelligence Service
Yes.
in public.
Yes.
And you say that is a terrible thing.
Yes.
It's the worst thing a deputy president can do.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you go with me to the constitutional provisions that deal with security, I believe that's Article 2.
Two 240.
The national security agencies,
National Security Council.
not the National Security Council.
Or National Security.
Article 238. Please read, if you will, Article 239. Do you have the Constitution there with you?
I do not have at the moment.
I will lend you mine. Please read Article 239, Sub-Article 3.
239, Sub-Article 3, National Security Organs. In performing their functions and exercising their powers, national security organs and every member of the national security organ shall not act in a partisan manner, further any interest of a political party or cause, or prejudice a political interest or political cause that is legitimate under this Constitution.
Thank you. And so if a senior member of any security agency were to, if I could have back my Constitution, if a senior member or any member really of any security agency were to engage in that activity, that would be unconstitutional.
Indeed.
It would be worthy of criticism.
Indeed.
Now, Mr. Mutuse, you are a lawyer and a leader in this country. Are you familiar with Kenya's first Director of Intelligence, Mr. James Kanyotu?
Mr. James Kanyotu, I have heard much about him.
Are you familiar with a saga in Kenya called the Goldenberg Commission?
Yes, I am familiar with the Goldenberg Commission.
Was Mr. Kanyotu brought before the commission to explain his role in that commission and his role in that saga?
But not when he was in office.
I'm asking, was he brought there?
Yes, indeed.
Thank you very much. You're familiar with the former Director of Intelligence called Brigadier Gachagua?
Yes, indeed.
During the Waki Commission, there was Brigadier Gachagua called to give evidence before the Waki Commission to explain the role of the security agencies in post-election violence?
Yes, in a commission.
In a commission, he was summoned.
In a commission, summoned by a commission.
A public commission.
Public commission.
Yes.
That was formed pursuant to the laws of Kenya.
Okay. Number 6. Now, you're with me at page 410.
410, yes.
You can see that is a newspaper article.
Yes.
What is the headline?
This is, on the face of it.
It can only be on the face of it, Mr. Mutuse. We don't need to use extra adjectives to explain obvious things. What does it say?
Ruto, I was locked out of Security Council meeting 3 years ago.
Thank you. What is the date of that article at page 410? It's on the extreme right.
This is on 7th of July.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go to page 411.
Page 4?
11.
Yes.
Please read that article in full.
UDA presidential candidate William Ruto on Thursday said he was excluded from attending the National Security Council meeting 3 years ago. The National Security Council brings together the President, Deputy President, Defense, Foreign Affairs, and Internal Security Cabinet Secretaries, the Attorney General, Chief of Defense Forces, the Director of National Intelligence Service. Ruto made the revelations while explaining his take on the ongoing extrajudicial killings in the country.
Stop right there. When you played your video, you said that the problem was that the Deputy President had discussed issues of security at a time when we were having what were called the Gen Z protests. Is that correct or not?
That is one of the problems.
That's one of the issues.
Yes.
Now, the Minister for Interior was before the National Assembly last week, I believe it was, or the other week,
Yes.
and said that 42 people died during those protests. You recall?
I do not have that, but we take it as you put it.
He said 132 people are missing.
Okay.
Are you aware that cases have been filed in court, including one where the Inspector General agencies were abducting Kenyans?
I am aware of the matters in court.
Are you aware that during these protests, property of immense value was lost?
Yes, I am aware.
Did the President of the Republic of Kenya dismiss his entire cabinet as a consequence of those protests?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Are you aware, as a member of parliament, that the World Bank and the IMF, as early as January 2024, sent a document to the government, a public document available on the website, indicating that the introduction of the reforms in the Finance Bill 2024 would lead to protests? Are you aware of that?
I am not aware.
Now, if the World Bank and the IMF had warned the government in January 2024 that there would be protests, what should a responsible government have done in the intervening period?
The government is not on trial. Regarding Gachagua is...
That is not my question. My question was, what should a responsible government and security agencies have done?
I can't tell because I am not part of them. I'm not in the executive.
I see. Let's go back to my article at page 411. There is a sentence beginning at the same time. Start there.
At page 411, at the same time, the DP also revealed that Director of the National Intelligence Service no longer picks up his calls. This, he said, has made him unable to play a key role in ensuring an end to judicial killings in the country, as well as the runaway insecurity in some parts of the country.
Stop right there. Go to page 412.
Page 412.
In the middle, there's a sentence beginning with the words, he reiterated.
He reiterated that the remarks he made in a campaign rally in Moyale, that he will ensure...
Read, finish.
That will ensure
The entire National Security Council, and even disclosing, and Kenyans didn't know this, that the Director of National Intelligence no longer picked up his calls, and this is being made at a rally in Moyale. Between that and the Deputy President addressing a national crisis that was foreseen, please explain to me what the difference between those two situations is.
There is a huge difference. Number one, he begins by saying he has been locked out of National Security Council meetings. Honorable Rigathi Gachagua has not said that he has been locked from National Security Council meetings. Number two, he goes ahead and says the Director General of the National Intelligence Service no longer picks his calls. Mr. Rigathi Gachagua does not say the Director General of the National Intelligence Service no longer picks his calls.
I see, but they're talking about the Director of National Intelligence.
And our case is that...
And they are discussing things the public don't know yet, correct? Yes or no, Mr. Mutuse?
The context is...
No, yes or no, Mr. Mutuse?
It's distinguishable. Very,
Yes,
very
yes or no?
The context is very different.
Very good. Now, you say that at this speech, the Deputy President revealed secrets. What specific secrets did he reveal?
He said, and the clip that was played, that he has been told in confidence by officers of the National Police Service. I have been told in confidence that the officers did not receive advance security information, intelligence on the planned protests.
And this is subject to the Official Secrets Act. You can confirm this.
The oath of office is that if issues are revealed to you in secrecy, you are not supposed to make them public.
And when you made this allegation yourself, who are these officers you're saying made these secrets, gave him these secrets?
The Deputy President, in the clip that we played, from his own mouth, says, I have received confidential information from officers of the National Police Service.
Let us play for you a video here, Honorable Speaker, video number 6.
We have the most incompetent Inspector General of Police, I think, in the world. The most incompetent in the whole world. His incompetence may not necessarily play out when things are working, but when things get to a head and you need some decisions to be made, I can tell you for sure, the gentleman we have as an IG cannot make any decision.
The second one. If that could be repeated.
Ule mtu wa sinema mingi anaitwa nani ule mtu? Ule sijui anaitwa DCI, ule anaitwa nini? Ule mtu anaitwa Kinoti. Awache ujinga. Huyo bwana Kiboti awache ujinga. Sio kama tunaelewana. Huyo Kinoti hakuna kitu amefanya kwa hii kesi ya kisiasa. Yeye ni mtu ya sinema. Anaendesha makesi kwa magazeti. Anatuandikia barua, sijui barua ya kilomita ngapi. Mr. Kinoti, please, save your time. Stop writing to us long letters. Leave matters of elections to IEBC. You have no business in IEBC. You have failed as DCI. We don't want you to fail our elections. Tunaelewana? Huyo bwana Kinoti awache hiyo ujinga yake anaendesha pale. Kwa sababu na tukasirisha huyo bwana Kinoti, tunataka tumwambie awachane na watu wa IEBC wafanye hiyo uchaguzi. Alipatiwa kazi.
You can stop there.
Yes.
Do you recall in the 2 years the deputy president has been in office,
Yes.
where he called any public servant in the security sector awache ujinga?
I don't recall.
Not one.
But I also know
I'm asking us, I just asked you a simple
this was on a campaign trail.
I just asked a simple question. So you don't recall any?
I don't recall.
Yes. Do you recall him ever speaking in that tone to any officer?
I don't recall.
Thank you very much.
And there is no motion.
I'll hand over this Honorable Speaker to my colleague, Mr. Victor Swanya-Ogeto.
Now, Council, you have 9 minutes for this witness and the other witness that are going to be called.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I.
Paragraph.
Number 1, yeah.
That's paragraph 45.
Paragraph 45, I, yes.
Paragraph 45, I.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you read it for us?
Additionally, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua used his office of Deputy President to exert influence and connive with the unscrupulous Ministry of Lands officials to issue an allotment letter to Amonyoro Investments Limited, a company that he owns, to acquire LR 209/12077 and LR 90923, situated at Embakasi, Nairobi, whose value is estimated at 1.5 billion Kenya shillings or thereabouts. After that, this company used the fraudulently acquired documents to support a court case at the expense of the legitimate owner of the property.
Very good. In your allegation, you have alleged that the Deputy President connived with unscrupulous officials of the ministry. Have you placed any evidence to this House or anywhere in the bundles naming those officials?
I did not place, but as far as I can remember, there is information that came through
Mr.
public
Mutuse,
participation.
please, because of time, I think I want you to answer yes or no, so that you can proceed. Have you placed any evidence?
In my motion, no, but
No.
in the,
No,
in
thank
the
you.
documents contained
Thank
in
you.
the public participation,
Thank you,
yes.
thank you, Ms. Mutuse. Now, how many letters of allotments were given to Wamunyoro Investment?
I do not know.
You don't know?
Yes.
Okay. Have you placed to this house any letter of allotment as evidence?
I haven't.
You to 107, that's volume 3, 107
Volume 3?
of your documents, 107.
Just a minute. Page 107.
107, yes. 107, and I want 107. Are you there? That is NLC determination,
Volume 3, page?
volume 3, page 107.
Yes.
At that time, was the deputy president in office?
No, he was not in office.
He was not in office.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so it will have not influenced the ministry officials to give an allotment, true?
Not as deputy.
Before I refer you to the judgment on that matter, I want you to read the determination of the commission, which is in the last page, just last paragraph. Can you read it?
The Commission, having listened to both parties and scrutinized the evidence adduced before it, hereby directs as follows. The lease held by Wamunyoro Investments Limited, LR number 209, 12077, IR number 90923, is upheld, subject to adoption by plenary.
Is upheld.
Subject to.
But is upheld.
Subject to. We read it in whole. Subject to.
Very well.
Adoption by plenary.
Very well. But the determination of NLC have already determined.
It is upheld, subject to adoption by plenary.
Very well. So let me refer you to the judgment of that's ELC case number E242 of 2022, which is in page 116.
Page 116.
Yes.
Yes.
I want you to go to the judgment of the judge. That's 177.
170?
177.
177.
Yeah, 177. But I want you to look at 176.
176?
Yeah.
Yes.
176, paragraph 440, right? I. Can you read paragraph 440 I?
A declaration be and is hereby issued that the plaintiff is the lawful registered absolute owner of all that parcel of land known as LR number 209 12077, IR number 90923.
Who is the plaintiff? Who is the plaintiff?
Wamunyoro Investments.
Wamunyoro Investment. Okay. And therefore, the judge has determined who is the rightful owner of that property, right? That's right?
Yes, the judge has determined.
Okay. Okay, now, do you want the Senate to further arbitrate on this, on the ownership of this property after that? Is that your position?
Indeed. Our claim is that, as you have referred us.
Is that your position?
Yes.
It is your position?
It is our position.
Even after you've seen the determination both from the court and from the NLC?
There is no plenary adoption of the NLC determination. Subsequently, we have made allegations which will be proved that the letter of allotment came long after, and it is the letter that was used to support, to lead the court to make this decision.
Very well. That's all, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I thank you.
Counsel for the National Assembly, you may re-examine the witness. But just to remind you, you have 40 minutes to conclude your entire case.
Mr. Speaker, we have no questions in re-examination for this witness, so we propose to call our next witness. That is Dr. Andrew Mulo.
Very well. Now,
if the clock can be
Counsel-
frozen while we call him, please.
yes, Counsel, before you call your next witness, the honorable senators may want to seek for clarifications from the witness, so I will allow them to do that. When they're done, then you can usher in your second witness.
Much obliged, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, you have 2 minutes to do that, and we are going to do that. I'm going to allocate 20 minutes for that exercise. Senator John Newton. Not present. Senator Sotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have two clarifications. The first clarification to the counsel for the Deputy President, and is on the matter of the first charge on the issue of shareholding. Can the council, based on Rule 30, of the standing orders, explain the specific relevance of the Kenya Kwanza Coalition agreement as a piece of evidence? My second question is the Council of National Assembly on the ground number 8, where it is alleged that the Deputy President violated Section 132 of the Penal Code. So maybe we can be told a lot more about whether there was any report made to the relevant authorities as far as this charge is concerned.
Senator Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to seek some clarifications from the Honorable Mutuse. Very fast, Mr. Speaker. First of all, what led him to, if he did, to think of auditing the wealth of the Deputy President? Was he auditing institutions? And if he was auditing the presidency, would he kindly tell us also about the wealth of the President? Number two, Mr. Speaker, who did this particular motion for Honorable Mutuse? And why I ask that, Mr. Speaker, is because every time he's asked a question, he says, I think so, I believe so. He does not give convincing reasons, in my view, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, he has listed several companies. And these companies, upon cross-examination, he has said repeatedly for each of them that he has no problem with the companies, apart from saying that he thought Again, he thought that there was an intention to use them for money laundering and some other corrupt activities, Mr. Speaker. So exactly what, is it a crime to have, in his understanding, to own companies for the Deputy President or any other Kenyan, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, when you look at the affidavit made by one Jomo, Mr. Njomo, about acquisition of Olive Gardens Hotel, with a promise, it is alleged, that the Deputy President would buy the same later.
Senator Ojenda. Honorable Senators, condense your thoughts. You only have 2 minutes within which to seek the clarifications. And both teams kindly note down the questions so that once the senators are done raising, we'll come to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to ask the witness, Mutuse, you have been taken to great lengths on the ownership or the shareholding of the 22 companies that you have associated the Deputy President with. I want you to just clarify why you included the 22 companies in your impeachment. You set out allegations on several companies. Clarify one, you refer to Olive Gardens Hotel. You refer to the, again, Vipingo Beach Resort in Kilifi County. You set out the CR12 of both. Now I want you to just tell us or clarify the significance of the inclusion of these 2 companies. Just clarify that. On the ownership of Queensgate Serviced Apartments, you also seem to raise a number of issues. I want you to also clarify the ownership of Queensgate Serviced Apartments and why you attribute the questions. You asked several questions by counsel on Queensgate. I want you to make a clarification. But let's go to the other question, Mr. Mutuse. In charge number 1, you have referred to the obligation.
Senator Mngatana.
Asante Bwana Spika. Mimi nilikuwa nataka kumuuliza Mheshimiwa Mutuse, mbunge wa Kibwezi Mashariki, atufafanulie wakati ambapo Mheshimiwa Makamu wa Rais alipokuwa anazunguka na kusema anapigania haki za Mrima, yeye kama mbunge wa Kibwezi Mashariki na kama mbunge wa kutoka sehemu ya jimbo gatuzi la Makueni, je, alijisikia ama alijihisi kwamba anabaguliwa ama anawekwa kando katika nchi hii ya Kenya? Tueleze vizuri, tuelewe. Asante, fafanua.
Senator Enokumbo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will have 2 clarifications to seek from Mheshimiwa Mutuse, but because my leader, Senator Governor James Orengo, opened this session with the verse from the Bible, I will also read one from the Bible. The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 1. You shall not spread a false report. You shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness. That is the Bible. The Mutuse, I want to know from Mr. Mutuse, 1, is this impeachment motion really and truly your motion? I ask that question, Mr. Speaker, because on all accounts, the witness is unable to prove anything. Is this your motion, or were you called to just sign a motion, then to come and defend it here? Secondly, in the oath of office for the Deputy President, it is required of him to diligently serve the people of the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. The people that reside in the Mount Kenya region are Kenyans. What is so wrong with a Deputy President, a state officer, in defending people from a region in this country and then coming to defend other people in Nairobi and other people in other regions? What is so wrong? What is impeachable about that defense? I thank the Speaker.
Senator Veronica.
Honorable Mutuse, just to clarify a few issues. One, are there any charges for money laundering that have been preferred against the Deputy President? That's one. And then to confirm whether the Asset Recovery Agency, the case of the Asset Recovery Agency that was before Justice Esther Minor, was fully resolved using the consent order. Those two clarifications.
Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I need to seek two clarifications, and one of them is from the Council of the Deputy President. This is in regards to the allegation on ground 4 in terms of the consent that was reached upon for the 200 million. I heard that there was a consent after the Deputy President filed an appeal of the case, which I believe the judgment still stands. Do we have that consent? And in what circumstances led to that consent being agreed upon and the money returned, the 200 million shillings returned to the Deputy President, yet the High Court had already determined that that money were proceeds of corruption? Was it threats? Number two, I'd like to seek some clarification on the concept of shareholding. Is a coalition agreement a company? Is Kenya government a company? Because I was still not very clear about those two issues. Because we've been invited to interpret the coalition agreement of Kenya Kwanza. Yet, every time, based on the evidence presented, all I could hear is the Deputy President talking about people. So are people now part of the coalition agreement? And is the coalition agreement a company?
Senator Meth.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I also want to get to understand from a clarification from Honorable Mutuse on the assertion that you made on ground number, on this accusation that you say that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua acquired a dairy farm in Nyandarua County, whether there is any evidence in record that he has a dairy farm in Nyandarua, either the title number of the land or even the, a photograph. I've seen you put photograph of hotels, either a photograph of cows or whatever you'd have in record. Number two, I would also want to know from the Honorable Mwengi Mutuse, on this matter that you say the people of Kenya feel that they have been left out, whether there is any evidence in record of people who have complained to the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, complaining against the conduct of the Deputy President in as far as the issues that you've raised. Finally, there is one property of the estate of Dirito Gachagua that is referred to as Kuruitu, and I think you have adduced the list of the directors. In your submissions, you said that the only one person who is an executor and is a beneficiary would be Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. In that will, did you see that part of the people who are beneficiaries are the executors? So one of the three, or all the three executors are also beneficiaries. And in the regards to what you have adduced in the Kuruitu property, it is actually one of the executors, not the Deputy President, who actually bought that particular property.
Senator Christella Sige.
Thank you so much, Speaker. I'm very, very glad that the Bible has been cited, because I have a couple of verses of my own I would like to also start my contribution with. I take it to Proverbs 17, which I just read yesterday, in fact, Speaker, which say in 14 and 15. 14 says, starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam, so drop the matter before a dispute breaks out. 15, acquitting the guilty and condemning the innocent, the Lord detests them both. And I'd like to maybe insert, instead of the Lord, I would like to insert the Senate, detests them both, and we have a very upward hill task. My question goes to the witness. In his motion, he has used the Oxford Advanced Dictionary to define gross misconduct. I was just curious to find out why the Oxford Dictionary and not maybe a relevant Kenyan law that defines, if he has one, or perhaps Black's Law Dictionary, which I know all legal counsels also rely upon. Thank you.
Senator Gataya, more fire.
Speaker, I want to seek clarification from the council for the Deputy President. I have seen parade photos and utterances for His Excellency the President. I need to get the relationship between what is before us and the President for this matter. So can he please explain what is the relationship between what he has paraded for the President and what is before us as a House?
Senator Karungo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My questions directed to Mheshimiwa Mutuse. Welcome to the Senate, the upper house. And my question is, you said the Deputy President is tribal because he spoke Kikuyu in Nairobi. Are you aware of Article 7 of the Constitution that says the state should promote local languages? Are you also aware of Article 27 that says no one should be discriminated on the language they speak? Are you also aware of Article 44 of the Constitution that says that every person has the right to use the language of their choice? But again, would you make the same complaint if he spoke in sign language? The next question is, the Deputy President has been talking about shares in government, serikali, which we have been shown that the shareholding and the shares were signed by the government officials who are in government. He never talked about the nation, which is Taifa, shareholding of the country. So I would want you to tell me whether you know the difference between the two. And lastly, you have given us a lot of documents, even bank statements, and even payment vouchers. I know you as Honorable Member of Parliament, not necessarily a government agency. How did you access these documents? Yet you know the Supreme Court of Kenya has indicated it is wrong to steal evidence or to unlawfully obtain evidence. We would want you to give us that indication. And also, you said the Deputy